Okay. Hola, hola, ¿qué pasa? Hola. We're in the backwoods, South Dakota, south of the 90. Farmland off, we are on the 47. I believe that to be a state highway. 56 balmy degrees. We are on our way to Lincoln, Nebraska. Nice and cool. Like these back old roads. Wonky wipers. Gotta love it. So there's no freeway to go from Interstate 90 down to Interstate 80. So we gotta kind of like stair step down. My dispatcher keeps giving me almost impossible to do runs. I say almost because yesterday was impossible to do. I couldn't get it before they closed. And I started my clock right when my 10 hours were up. I still couldn't make it. Now we have a delivery by 3. It is now 1. And that's not going to happen. Hopefully it happens. And I have to have a pickup by 3. And that's also not going to happen. So hopefully it can happen tomorrow. Goes to Houston. I had to wait till they opened up at 7 a.m., which I was able to get out of there by 5 till 8. So hopefully I can load tomorrow, and if I can't make this, I could load to unload tomorrow as well. Unload in the morning, load up, and then boogie. I tell you what, it was nice being in South Dakota. Everything's open. People were wearing masks. More power to you. I like the fact that it wasn't a requirement. We'll be entering Nebraska here pretty soon. Probably, I'm going to say maybe 30 miles, 40 miles. We are north of Gregory. on the 47. I should have started filming earlier, but it wasn't quite set up for it. We were in a bunch of hills and windy road. It was actually kind of nice. That's what made me start thinking, like, I better start filming. I did. As soon as I started filming, the road goes straight as an arrow. One thing nice, there was another highway to the east of it, west of us. We came from the west, so there's another major highway that parallels this one. I opted for this one because it gave me an extra 25 miles on the interstate before I start stair-stepping down to Lincoln, Nebraska. Pretty much does the same thing, except for there's a few highways that go southeast. There's one reason why I didn't take 80. I think it's the 29. Oh, we're gonna get a bird, I wonder. And just go, if you're stair-stepping, boom, 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 it kind of comes out to be the same miles if you just go all the way east and all the way south. But if you could do it interstate the whole time, you do better in mileage, time-wise. The little birdies got out of the way. But because there's a few of these highways that go southeast, it enables us to gain mileage. I'm not sure about time. So it looks like we got 11 miles to Gregory. There's another big highway right here. Oh, that house is kind of funky. Almost looks like a tent, a couple of domes. As you can tell, your secondary highways are third. The shoulders aren't as wide. This thing is going to kill me is these little stop signs and little towns we have to go through. Takes a couple extra minutes, and you times that by 20. That's like 40 minutes. It slows you down. When you're racing the clock, it's pretty huge. I think it added another 40 miles going to Sioux Falls and then south. in the heart of America's farmland. So I had a load. I was back west. I think it was up by in Seattle. And the first load I had was in Portland from Seattle. Well, not necessarily Seattle, Auburn, Washington. Almost 200 miles. Something we've done quite a bit. She goes, "Oh, that's too far to Deadhead," because I got taken off of the run. So I called her up. I'm like, "What's going on?" "Well, I have another one up north. That's too far to run." Well, she says, "I'm working on another one." Ended up being up north, but that's too far to Deadhead. I'm like, well, we've done it a bunch of times. We come up here. We either load in the area or head down to Portland. Empty, Deadhead. Well, yesterday was 250 miles Deadhead. We're across Wyoming. So I don't know, I suppose it goes based upon the day. Good old boys out here, they wave to you when you drive by. Or fingers up off the steering wheel. That person had one finger up. I love it. I have no idea what the speed limit is. I haven't seen any signs. I'm assuming it's going to be 65. Could be 70. 113 kilometers an hour. One thing about the Cadillac, it tells me, smile, your mom chose life. Big old smile. It'll tell me what the speed limit is. Basically what it does is it reads the sign and stays that way until it reads another one. I've known that because I've tested it. I wait till I drove by a sign. It's like reading the sign. Little beginning AI, I guess. Artificial intelligence. So if I ever forget, I can always look down at my dash and see what the speed limit is. Here, I don't think they much care. I like the rolling hills. Kind of reminds me of bit of Washington State. They're a little south of Spokane, Washington. Oh boy's got some yard art over there. So my daughter's chickens got taken out. I know a lot of you know that already, on July 5th. But somebody gave her like 4 more. So now she has 5 chickens again. They weren't babies, they were older. And now she's like is having too many eggs to deal with. I go, easy, you just have eggs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Start giving them away to people. Or sell them, I guess. A couple bucks a dozen. Well, at least you always have farm fresh eggs, even though they're not on a farm. Looks like we'd be rolling into Gregory, South Dakota. The bus driver was wearing a face shield. Population 1,295. At the mixer plant, a couple of beat up mixer trucks. Parkside Motel. Wonder where the no-tell motel is. You're welcome. It's a great day to be a gorilla. What that sign says on that fence. See, when you gotta slow down like this, which you have to, you're in a town, it does take away from your ETA. Gregory Hospital. To the left, pheasants. Looks like they got pheasants in the hood. Yeah, of course, this is out in the country, but Antifa said they wanted to bring their fight to the burbs. They don't really want to do that. They really don't want to do it out here. Ford Fiesta. $65. I know what I thought it was. Little deer didn't make it. At least the little bit of rain and overcast helps keeps the suicidal insects off the windshield. Makes it easier for us to film longer. See you in a bit. Temporary bridge. pretty good job of holding the weight. Because we are heavy, about 79,000. We're in Nebraska now. About 20 miles north of O'Neill. See you in a bit. Okay. So we are southbound on the 39. Excuse me. Take the 39 down to the 92. Go left and then right on the 41. In Nebraska, take that to Interstate 80, go east to Nebraska, to Lincoln. So I have a new pastime cruising through Nebraska here. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 99.8 because I actually haven't stopped and checked it out. But literally, right there along the tracks, those tall, skinny green plants, marijuana, the devil's lettuce. It's all over the place. I saw it, it caught my eye once. I'm like, it looks like weed, and it sure as the heck is. There's buds everywhere. It's kind of funny. It's legal in Colorado. I can't smoke it because of my job. I'm just amazed at how much. We just drove by like a ton of it. I think a lot of it's probably dirt weed, but I imagine there's some good ones in there. Just growing wild. It's funny, I think it's pretty much illegal, like fairly strongly in Nebraska, but I mean it grows everywhere, apparently. So coming down, this is a little town of Genoa. We started seeing it on the side of the road, and I just started kind of like, is that what I think it is? And then kept looking like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And then I just pastimed it, just kept on checking it out. And right here was the most I ever saw coming into Genoa. I mean, it was like every plant. Oh, man. Every tall plant was weed. Don't see any here. It'd be up along the edges because they already cut the grass here. Don't see any. Thought I saw one there, but none in here. Might be a few stragglers in there, kind of hard to tell. I don't see any. There's the Loop River, L-O-U-P, the Loop Overflow. There's a few old skinny ones I've seen, but they're kind of light in color. The other ones were really dark. Nothing in there at the right. So when you come across a patch of them, they're like everywhere. Pastime of trucking in Nebraska. I wouldn't suggest coming out here and getting any. I mean, if you do, it's your risk, I suppose, but just growing wild. Not seeing any now. Little aspen grove, looks like. Probably one of their best kept secrets, which I'd probably let out of the bag. There's a couple. It's like you can't smoke marijuana, but you can drink beer. In a semi. Well, I mean, not like and operated, of course not. But I'm just saying, like on a weekend, I could get all drunk, but I can't take one hit. So come up in a drug test, and then it's all over. But the crying. See you in a bit. Okay. Notice we're moving along pretty good. That means we're empty. Woohoo! I had a 3 o'clock appointment. I'm like, there's no way I can make it. Right now it's 7:14. 19:14. I was going to Menards. Oh, there's a nice lake over there. Pretty nice lake going around the houses there, or houses going around the lake. Just west of Lincoln, Nebraska. Yeah, I pulled up to Menards and I didn't think, but I was gonna see if I could spend the night there or PC to a truck stop or something. So I go up and I'm like, is it possible to get unloaded? I think it was 6 o'clock Central Time. And he goes, what are you hauling? And I'm like, topsoil. Hang on a second. Yeah, put it Dock 7. I'm like, sweet. That was a store, so it wasn't like a DC. And got us right in there. So now we're empty, and I called the other company and said, yo, we can, you guys are going to be open tomorrow? And he's like, well, yeah. And I go, I'm supposed to pick up a load today of clothes going to Houston. He goes, oh, yeah. Well, I think you can. I go, you guys open? He goes, yeah, I hope you open. I'm like, well, if not, then I have to find something else. But that's the plan, supposed to be. So we're going to run over here to the Schumacher truck stop, exit 395, Shoemaker. Should still be some parking. I've come here before, like 11 or 12 o'clock at night. Went all the way in the back, found a spot, even though everything was taken. I've still found a spot. And one of my other drivers, some of these guys, they like start early in the morning and then shut down 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon so that they can get a place to park. And I've never really had that problem, and if I maximize my clock and I can't get to the truck stop, or I get to the truck stop, there's no parking, then I have to go to the next place. So I'll PC. I don't do that very often, but I have done it. Got to be able to park, but I've always, Even when I was over there and trying to get unloaded or trying to get loaded in Tumwater, there goes my little ball. I was trying to get unloaded or get loaded in Tumwater or Tacoma, Washington. I drove to Tumwater to, I think it was a Pilot Flying J, something like that, and there's one of them diamond intersections. I actually like these. I drove over there and found one spot. I totally got lucky. It was the last one too. But of course that was still daylight. I finally gave up on trying to get loaded. And that load ended up getting canceled anyway. But so how do I do this? I'm trying to look at the road patterns here. Can't go straight so over there, so I'm gonna have to go around here, and because they got the center blocked off. They got some cool old trucks here, as you can see in the front. Right there. I'm kind of turn it over a bit. They got some inside too, restored. The tow truck is towing the Dual tanker from the movie Duel. It's actually not, but it's pretty close. So we'll shut it down here for tonight and load up tomorrow, Saturday, head to Houston. Still have 34 hours left, so we will run out our clock. I do get hours back on Tuesday. Not very many, but it should be enough to get back to Denver with. But I'll be running recycled hours. So anyway, we'll cut this video here. I'm going to try to find a night spot to shut out the night. So we'll call this video good. Thanks again for riding shotgun with Mountain Man Mike. Till the next time, enjoy. Peace! See ya! We are parked in the very back. Just like I like it. Old England over there is trying to turn his trailer around in the aisle, which looks like he did.